One thing that I did all the way through from the very beginning to now in my voiceover journey is direct marketing. And direct marketing, a lot of people when they think direct marketing, all they think are phone calls or emails. And that certainly can be an important part of it. But direct marketing is really, when you boil it down to its essence, it's just directly contacting and communicating with somebody. It can be phone calls, and I've done a lot of that over the years. It could be email. I've done a heck of a lot of that over the years. It could be postcards. It could be mail. It could be going to a local chamber of commerce meeting and talking to people. That is all direct marketing. But the thing that and I'm sure you guys are learning this if you haven't already, is that not all marketing channels, not all marketing activities are created equal. So a big challenge up front is figuring out what's going to work and what doesn't. And frankly, it's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's going to find things that work better for them than other things. But the one thing that we can all count on that we know works for everybody when done properly is direct marketing. And that's why I'm such an advocate for direct marketing. It's why I've always done direct. Even when I've been on, different platforms, I've always had, as best I could within the context of that platform, a direct marketing mindset, understanding the importance of staying in touch with people. And like even I mentioned an example of going to a chamber of commerce meeting. If you were to do that, the worst thing you could do is go and speak and then leave and do nothing afterwards. That's not direct marketing. Direct marketing is getting business cards from people, getting names, getting email addresses, putting it into your CRM, or in this case, putting into VioFlow and staying in touch with those folks. That's direct marketing. It's knowing that whatever you do, one touch is almost never enough. It has to be continual and constant. It has to be consistent. And that's when good things start to happen. Everything you do requires follow-up if you want it to be effective. And have you guys heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule? 20% of your activities will produce 80% of your results. That is as true in voiceover as it is in anything else. It's amazing how consistently true I guess that's why they call it a principle. It's almost always true. And when it comes to voiceover, not every, again, marketing channel or marketing activity will yield equal results. And so understanding what works and what doesn't is very important. And one thing I can tell you with great certainty is that direct marketing is always going to be in vogue. It's always going to work. Now, the technology we use will change and evolve over the years. And thank goodness for a platform like VioFlow, because when I first got started, we didn't have any, I had worked with, Goldmine. I think that was one of the CRMs. There was Act that I'd used. I used Salesforce.com, not for voiceover. This was for other corporate type, work I was doing. But there was nothing out at that time, and nothing at this time within voiceover that can equal what we're doing with VioFlow. I'm not saying don't work platforms like Voices and Voice123. I'm not saying don't get an agent. That's not what I'm saying at all. I think it's good to have multiple channels. I think the smart thing is to build around a direct marketing. I think it has to be at the core of really of any business, voiceover or any business. And if you look back through the history of business and you look at successful businesses, they understand direct marketing and they're very, very good at it. If you don't have that as a core, it's going to be really hard to consistently build a business that produces an income that you can count on. And that, I think, is probably what most people at the end of the day, in addition to loving to do voiceover, we want income, but we don't just want income. We want a consistent income. We want a fairly predictable income. And that's what direct marketing allows us to do. And if you also apply, the principles of direct marketing, even on these other platforms and other technologies and working with agencies, if you apply some of the basic principles of direct marketing, it will make that much more effective and fruitful for you as well. So it's about simplifying your workflow by understanding what works and what doesn't. And make sure you have direct marketing at the center of everything you do. Keep VioFlow at the center of everything that you do, because it will keep you focused on the 20% that's going to create at least 80% of the productivity that you have. And when you do that, will help you hang around longer because again, this is why a lot of people quit is this they're just tired of going in circles and trying this and trying that and not knowing where to focus their time and energy to break through. Well, direct marketing, that's where it's at. And thank goodness we have a tool again like VioFlow to help us do that.